Hulu and the evolution of The Handmaid's Tale. Hulu and other streaming competitors were swiftly rethought after the 2017 premiere of The Handmaid's Tale. Hulu was on track to earn major accolades and disrupt the streaming industry. Even though Netflix had already made it to the Emmys, the reigning outstanding drama series hopes to make one more Emmy push this season as it winds down its dominating run, which began nearly a decade ago. Season 6 of The Handmaid's Tale has already won 6 Emmys, and half a dozen more have been nominated, making it one of the most decorated dramas of the last 20 years. The show uses its final chapter as one last opportunity to stress that the struggle is far from over. Recap. Following the demise of the Commanders, Gilead lost control of Boston. The Handmaids were instrumental in sparking a series of uprisings. Following the war's 19 days, additional states and cities are set to reintegrate into the U.S. in the coming months. As June gazes into the flames, she is transported back in time to the Nick she knew before he gave in to Gilead's influence. With the help of the Hall, Luke is leading the effort to restore Boston. Commander Mackenzie, who is in charge of Hannah, is relocating to Washington. Mark informs June they will attempt to locate her and wants her to be aware. June wants to know where Janine stands, but Mark is still in the dark. On the other hand, he has Aunt Lydia now on their side, trying to find her. Afterward, June strolls along the wall, reminiscing about a period before Gilead, when she was with Hannah. The little girl blames June for Hannah's disappearance after she ran away at a carnival. Mothers always return, she says. After Mayday's triumph in Boston, June meets with Serena, who offers her congratulations. After explaining that Nick would have picked her if given the chance, she expresses her sorrow over his loss and tells June this is the truth. She apologizes before boarding the bus that Mark will take her and Noah to a refugee camp. June forgives her. June pauses at the shuttered ice cream parlor and peers in. Out of nowhere, a woman stands by June's side and informs her that the business should reopen. She turns and sees Emily. Together, they make their way down the riverbank, passing the last of the guardians, who were formerly nailed to the wall. They pause before a painting on the remnants of the old wall, while Emily tells June about her life after leaving Boston. At karaoke night are June, Emily, Moira, Rita, and the rest of the handmaids. Their collective performance of Landslide is impressive. June discards her previous handmade attire by setting it ablaze. Electricity is restored to Boston. Mark enlists June's help in retrieving Janine from Gilead. June and Mark bring Janine and Charlotte back together after her return to the U.S. outside of Gilead. Lydia and Dow assisted with Janine's delivery. But after making the plunge, Lydia returns to Gilead. June is grateful. Both the adult Holly and the newborn Holly make it back to her on buses that arrive in Boston. Last night, June broke the news to her infant that she was leaving for Washington to see her sister, Hannah. After discussing the future with her mother, June resolves to keep fighting until Gilead is no more. Holly assures her that her grandchild will be well informed about June's career, despite June's fears about being a bad mother. Holly encourages her to write a book that anyone in need of hope can read. A new chapter. Prior to Luke's arrival in New York to join Mayday, he meets June with Mark's assistance. June assures him that she will locate Hannah. Luke advises her to write her story while highlighting the good people who helped her. Nicholas and Lawrence, too. You should keep them in your memory. A visit to the aquarium with June's family is etched in her memory. In the refugee camp, Venus Williams tells Joy she can't stay there while pregnant. Joy tells a volunteer that she will be absent tomorrow. This is her plan. Noah is everything to Serena. She tells him this. At the same time, June strolls across Boston on her way to the Waterford house. She envisions Hannah inside the rundown, empty home. The Handmaid's Tale is her debut novel. She begins writing its first lines. Finale, or ellipsis. Even though it's officially the finale, the last episode of The Handmaid's Tale feels more like an ellipsis. Characters from popular series often continue on after the show ends, because stories of mystery and tragedy don't end with the final credits. Still, there are too many loose ends and unanswered questions. With the Testaments greenlit, it's safe to assume many beloved characters will appear in the new series. Rita, Moira, and Lucapir are prepared to battle with Mayday in hopes of rescuing Hannah. June will collaborate with Mark. The U.S. military will continue using Lydia, now operating in Gilead as a spy. The leaders have perished. Serena and her infant son, Noah, are confined to exile. Janine has been reunited with her American children. Although there are goodbyes, they don't have the weight of permanent farewells. June is encouraged to write a book by both Cherry Jones and Bunnell. Since the show's inception, her book has been heard in voiceover. Now we finally see it. After 6 seasons of high-quality storytelling, the last episode is disappointing. Not only does it fail to resolve much, but also feels like the book is being temporarily closed so Hulu can begin a new chapter. The Testaments. In 2022, The Testaments was officially greenlit. It follows Lydia's story, continuing both the novel and the show. Agnes, a girl formerly known as Hannah, tries to reunite with her mother. Given the setting and character placements, it seems The Testaments is more of a continuation than a sequel. Elizabeth Moss is likely to return in guest starring roles, and Endowed has already been confirmed. Since the conflict with Gilead is far from over by the episode's end, many characters are expected to return. When will The Testaments be ready? More important than the release date is whether it will live up to the high production values of earlier seasons. The ending was decent, but the cinematography was noticeably softer than in the first 2 episodes of Season 6. We're crossing our fingers that Hulu steps it up a notch for the second season. Otherwise, both series may disappoint, and the franchise could fizzle out. Nothing particularly noteworthy happens in the series finale in terms of emotional resolution. The last hour feels lifeless. More time should have been spent with June's core relationships. All we got was an extended cameo from Alexis Bledel, and pretty much nothing else. Emily's return. Fans were shocked to see a familiar face in the series finale, Emily. A touching reunion occurred in the aftermath of Mayday's liberation of Boston in the penultimate episode. Thanks to the decision to bring this character back, The Handmaid's Tale gives us one more moment of closure. Emily was a staple from the pilot until her shocking departure in Season 4's finale. Her absence had gone unexplained until now. In one sequence with June, Emily reappears. After the state gains its independence, she runs into June on a trail they once walked together. It is revealed she had been fighting for the resistance in a neighboring town. Similar to June, Emily maintains a complex but loving relationship with her family. As they visit the wall, the women are moved to tears by inscriptions painted by Boston women who escaped Gilead. On the opposite side, the bodies of Gilead eyes hang as a stark reminder. The plan had always been for Emily to return in the final episode, but scheduling complications delayed it. She went to tremendous lengths to reach us, says Bruce Miller. They were strolling partners even before the show started. Bringing her back added a poignant layer to June's re-experience of her past. Without that moment, it would have been hard to believe both women survived. Bledel's performance. In Season 1, Alexis Bledel portrayed a character who endured some of the show's most horrifying scenes, including surgical mutilation as punishment for resisting Gilead. Her performance earned her an Emmy,